Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the retro no cap recap of the Curse of Oak Island season 8 episode 10 called Connecting the Lots. Originally aired January 12th, 2021. If you missed any of my recaps of previous and future episodes, there's a link to my Oak Island playlist in the upper right. Let's get into it. Previously on the Curse of Oak Island, people have been looking for an incredible treasure for 230 years. Rick, Laird, and Billy are in the drained swamp, continuing to investigate the stone feature discovered earlier in Season 8. It is in the southeastern corner of the swamp and is thought to be a road. Rick asks Billy to clear the mud from the sides so they can determine the boundaries. On one side, archaeologist Aaron Taylor sees this wood structure. He believes that it is cribbing to provide a solid foundation for the stone road, likely to allow heavy things to be transported on it. In the Money Pit area, south of the Women's Memorial / Garden Shaft, and in between the locations of the RF1 and OC1 caissons, and slightly north, the team is drilling a borehole to try to find evidence of the Money Pit shaft that is believed to have collapsed after searcher shafts and tunnels flooded in 1861. Terry says the core spoils from 178 to 208.5 feet are a mix of compact material higher and then slushy material before bedrock. The compact material is too compact for anything to slide through, so it's not the correct location. Jack and two of Billy's employees are at the wash table near Dan Blankenship's borehole 10X, going through the previous year's OC1 caisson spoils. At 150 feet underground in OC1, the team encountered this wood carbon dated as 1706, 89 years before the discovery of the Money Pit. Michael Johns finds this rosehead spike, which Jack speculates could match the 1706 dating of the wood. In the war room, Laguna partner Craig Tester has arrived after his own 2-week quarantine as required by Nova Scotia amid the ongoing, at the time, COVID-19 pandemic. Doug thinks that the original Money Pit shaft would have to be between RF1 and OC1 due to the finds in those two caisson spoils. However, they have done 21 sonic drilling boreholes in that specific area and have come up with nothing definitive. During his quarantine, Craig reviewed all of the past work and picked spots near OC1 that haven't been drilled yet. A lot of people are confused by the squiggly lines on these grid pattern maps. They represent how far the drill walks or veers off course rather than going straight down. Any number of things like boulders or hard soil can cause this walking. They determine the amount of walking by putting a GPS device into the hole. Doug has not found any reports of searcher activity at 150 feet where the OC1 wood was found. In the swamp, Gary is metal detecting the layer of muck that Billy has just removed from the Stone Road area. And he finds a copper coin that he dates to the late 1600s to early 1700s. Rick points out the fact that the Spanish 8 Maravidi coin found in the swamp while filming season 1 in 2014 was nearby. It has a date of 1652 on it. Narrator Robert Clotworthy reminds us that English coins from the late 1600s have been found on lots near the swamp. And that Dr. Ian Spooner dated the construction of the eye of the swamp to 1680. On part of the road itself, Gary finds this Akshu nail. He and Jack found a bunch of ox shoes along this path that appears to go directly towards the pine tar kiln, also recently found on lot 15. Keep in mind that the stone road and the other swamp finds have been sitting under about 4 feet of water and layers of muck for at least 200 years, probably longer. This is presumably a shot of borehole E12 to begin the Craig tester drilling program. Coincidentally, or not if you believe in Gibbs rule number 39,
I think we're setting a record here for coincidences.
E12 is close to the spot of the lonely caisson, left in place after all of the other equipment left the island in September 2024 while filming season 12. That is 1 to 2 months earlier than usual. This is my pal Zig's map, and he would likely want me to point out that it could be off due to the picture of the caisson, the grid lines, and everything else not aligned north or on the same scale. If this is included in my Looks Back and Ahead video for this week, I'll put a link to it in the upper right and at the end of this video. Back to Season 8, the core sample ends at 149 feet and does not contain any wood nor material that would indicate a void. They appear to give up on E12 without getting at least one more core sample from 150 feet or below. The next borehole is D11, just northwest of E12. E12 is not on Zig's map, but D11 is just left of the lonely caisson. Gary joins archaeologists Aaron, Liz, and Miriam on lot 15 at the 130-foot-long stone and earth feature that Aaron likened to a serpent mound. He found charcoal in the feature that carbon dated 1320 to 1440 AD. Gary finds another rosehead spike that has a pointed end. He suggests that it could be a deck nail. In the Money Pit area, borehole D11 has produced wood slivers at the 100-foot level, but only darkened material at 150 feet, which could be the result of being near wood. Craig decides to take this hole 20 feet deeper. In the swamp, the stone road has been much more revealed. Rick video calls Marty on his phone, and Aaron updates the younger brother, pointing out the profile showing the stones. And then in the center, the poles on the eastern side that go under the stones for support. Rick says it may turn a bit to go into the direction of the money pit. Marty later says that the stone road could lead to the treasure or to a staging area or some other clue. He goes on to say that it could be the biggest find of the season. Project manager Scott Barlow says it looks like they are the first people to get their hands on the road since it was used, so hopefully they can get some answers from it. Rick says he's glad they continued in the swamp. Marty playfully says,
I remember clearly when you wanted to quit on the swamp, but I said, Rick, no way. No way.
It was, of course, Marty that wanted to give up on the swamp. He later says he's surprised because he thought there was only swamp stuff in the swamp, and he is gratified that Rick's intuition was correct. In the war room, the team meets with Dr. Krista Brousseau via video conferencing to get her analysis of the 2 spikes found in this episode. The first in the OC1 spoils, and the second in the serpent-shaped mound on lot 15. She says the second one has no manganese in it, but does have a little phosphorus, so likely pre-1840 based on that info alone. The style is pre-1790. She goes on to say that the 2 spikes are very similar down to the exact same amount of phosphorus in both. So she would say that they were hand forged at the same time. Of note is that the artifact numbers are 30 apart. Marty suggests that the mound is the spoils from the original Money Pit creation. I'll be continuing retro no cap recaps of season 8 while also recapping the new season 12 episodes late Tuesday nights as they air. All other episodes are in my Oak Island playlist already. I'm also doing retro no cap recaps very slowly of seasons 2 through 4 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch as I have time. Seasons 1 and 5 are all done and are in that Skinwalker Ranch playlist. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Sempre avanti.